Welcome back, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Katherine Thompson here. An active day in the weather department. Let's jump right to it. Let's look at the radar. We've still got some showers and storms moving through the area as we speak, especially along the I-64 corridor, and they continue to move to the north. Flood advisory, which is not quite as serious as a warning, but it's still, just a heads up. There could be some high water and poor drainage areas. This is still out until 8:15 for portions of Greenbrier County and Allegheny County, too, including the city of Covington, just to the east. I know there's a lot of people that travel from Greenbrier to work at the mill in Covington, so be careful. We can still see some standing water at the very least on those roads. Make sure you alert your family if they're coming home from work that could be an issue. And this video coming out of Bartley, West Virginia, that's McDowell County there, and that was yesterday. This video coming in from John Wayne Kennedy, and that's just a snippet of what we've been able to get. We still, again, can't get all the way into McDowell County because there's so many closures, so we'll be showing you more damage and covering that as the week goes on this week, and we can get more. As these waters go down, the damage definitely becomes more apparent, and it is historic. Chief Meteorologist Katherine Thompson here. We have a tornado warning that has now been issued for portions of Greenbrier County, so listen up. If you are in Greenbrier County, this is not a drill. This is a real tornado warning. We've been tracking this nasty storm as it's moved earlier from Kanawha across northern Fayette and eventually into Greenbrier. But next in line, Estey, Rennick, Jaycox, Horrock, Falling Spring, Beard, everybody that is in the path of this storm along and east and just west of 219, you need to get in your safe place now. Again, this is not a drill. Get to the lowest floor, get away from the windows. Make sure you put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Again, we've still got some black ice that could be out there. Even to the naked eye, it might look okay or it might look just wet, but assume that that is some black ice, some very thin layers of ice still out there where things have melted here and there and then refrozen at times.
Katherine, we hope you're staying warm out there, and we'll send things right over to you for the very latest.
Hey there, Ben. I'll be a little bit warmer once I get some hot chocolate in my system. I'm banking on that a little bit later here. But the snow, again, as you said, is coming down. It's been coming down for several hours now. Hey, by the way, we did have that really cold weather over the weekend. Did anyone else see something like this in the sky? These are what we call light pillars, and you have to have very specific conditions to get them. How do they happen? Well, they're caused by these hexagonal-shaped ice crystals in the air that are near the ground, and they often reflect off of light. It could be moonlight, street lights, and they shine it upward, so it looks like this pillar of light. You have to get really, really, really cold, still air. Usually your temperatures need to be below 10 degrees Fahrenheit. They were over this past weekend. These were captured in Princeton. We had calm winds, we had the dry, clear conditions, and that's what you need to get these to happen. Welcome to WVVA News at 6. This is Chief Meteorologist Katherine Thompson. You know what time it is. It is Football Friday, and we're here live at Mitchell Stadium tonight where the big Beaver Graham game is about to go down. I've got the popcorn ready, and the weather could not be better. It is beautiful out here, and we look to stay nice as we head into game time. But I'm sitting here on the tractor right now, back here at the Heritage Corner of the West Virginia State Fair. This is one of the best areas there is. You can learn all about agriculture, the history. We've got historic farm equipment on. This particular tractor was owned by Selden Fuller, and I want to give him a shout out. This is a very unique experience. I will say I don't think I've ever been next to an animal quite this large. I will say that. But they seem very friendly, very peaceful. So we're going to roll with it. I'm going to give you the weather forecast standing in front of these oxen today. Welcome back, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Katherine Thompson here. We've got a winter storm on the way. It's hard to believe because today was nice. We had some sun. We were seasonable. Most of us right around average in the upper 30s and low 40s. We're going to drop tonight, though. In fact, we've already dropped to around or below freezing, and we've got moisture working in. Now, for the next few hours, not much. Maybe a flurry or two might make it down, but generally just a lot of cloud cover moving in. But by the time we get to 3, 4 o'clock into Tuesday morning, we are expecting some snow, and then eventually more of a snow changing to ice and rain scenario as we head into Tuesday itself. Temperatures right now, again, have dropped. We're in the 20s, low 30s. Cold enough, again, for just snow to begin with. and then we'll gradually creep above freezing in some spots tomorrow afternoon. We'll have a warmer air layer intrude above the colder air at the surface too, and that will allow for some ice, some freezing rain. But again, tonight, mainly just snow, and again, this is well after midnight we're expecting this. But once it gets going, it continues to grow across our area, wider spread, heavier at times, and this could amount to several inches across a lot of our area, up to half a foot or more in a lot of our area as well. We do have a winter storm warning out for everyone in the pink. This is all of the WVVA viewing area, with the exception of Buchanan County, Virginia, which will be under a winter weather advisory. Still, though, a few inches of snow expected there before we see more rain in Buchanan. But as you can see, this is how it's going to kind of play out. Again, early in the morning, all snow. And then eventually by lunchtime, we start to see this warm nose or warm air aloft kind of edging in. And this is going to change some of that over to just plain rain for those far western slopes by tomorrow evening. But through lunchtime and after, a lot of us will be seeing a mix or mainly just freezing rain. The last place for snow to hold on is going to be along and north of I-64, really through sundown tomorrow night, and then that will eventually change over to more ice as well. So it just depends on where you are, which precipitation type you will see more of. West, you'll have some snow overnight, maybe a little bit of freezing rain, but mainly rain during the afternoon and evening. But as you head east, there will be more ice throughout a good portion of the day through tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. And then that snow finally lets up. The last place to do that, Pocahontas County, West Virginia. Now, as you see into Wednesday, we've still got some precipitation around. It's going to be lighter, though. It'll be more of a wintry mix. Temperatures should make it above freezing in a lot of places Wednesday. So eventually the winter threat will go down. But the flood threat will be going up in the coming days just because of all this liquid coming in on top of our already saturated ground. We do have a flood watch that will go into effect tomorrow afternoon, especially in the areas that are going to see the mostly just rain tomorrow, and that's going to be Wyoming, McDowell, and Buchanan counties. As far as snow goes, most of the area, too, I've upped totals since this morning because they're just looking hefty through that first part of Tuesday, because it doesn't look like snow's going to let up, at least for this purple area, until well after lunchtime tomorrow afternoon. Then that's when we'll get more of a freezing rain scenario. But 6 to 8 inches in the purple. That includes a good chunk of Mercer, some of Monroe, Giles, mostly all of Summers, Raleigh, Fayette, definitely Greenbrier and Pocahontas. The snow's going to last longest up here. South of that, not quite as much. 2 to 4, 4 to 6 in the darker blue. And there's some wiggle room there because it just depends on how strong that warm nose is that comes in. Mercer, Bland, Giles with hot spot for ice, could see up to half an inch. Everyone else up to a quarter maybe at best. But in that pink especially, we could have some power issues. And again, slick travel, a huge concern through Tuesday, some of Wednesday. After that, we're warming up to the weekend, but flooding will remain a concern. Robert?
All right, thank you, Catherine.